name is Sophie Smith, and I am the Environmental Projects and Communications Coordinator for the Alouette River Management Society. Salmon are very important to our ecosystem. They are a keystone species, and without them we wouldn't have the abundant rainforest we see today. There would not be a rainforest without salmon. Why do we say that? Because they feed all the wildlife that we see in our areas. Bears, birds of prey, other sort of scavenger species take these salmon back into the forest to eat them, and then they're left there to decompose and enrich the soils, which gives back to the forest and the trees. It really does work in this roundabout way and this cycle. We see it every day down at our fish fence with the bears and other scavengers that would not be able to survive without this species. So we call it a keystone species. Wait, the bear's there. The bear's there. We see all 5 species returning to our river systems, including coho, chum, sockeye, pink, steelhead, and chinook. The sockeye are really struggling. We see numbers of 4, 6, 11. One year we actually didn't see a return of sockeye, and that was in 2014. So spawner surveys are extremely important to data collecting. Escapement is the main reason that we do spawner surveys, to see how many salmon escaped from predation, the fisheries, recreational and commercial, all these different things that allow them to come back to their spawning grounds to complete the life cycle. The volunteers that partake in this, they count all the salmon that they see in a certain section of the river. They walk up along the streams of a certain section and they count the adult salmon that have made it back to their spawning grounds. They count all alive, and they also count the amount of dead adults. With the dead adults, they want to see if the adults have spawned out. They will actually cut open their bellies, see if they're male or female, how they have spawned out. They will go through and actually do a dissection, maybe determine what sort of death was caused. The salmon spawner survey volunteers are trained by our staff at the Alouette River Management Society. We are trained by the Pacific Stream Keepers Federation. They are heavily involved in this program as they administer all the data, and we send all of our data collected to them. Salmon spawner surveys start in October and they run all the way until there's no more salmon in the river, mid to end December, and sometimes even early January. Normally a 12-week program, and the volunteers are required to go out once a week for approximately 2 hours at the same time each week. An average volunteer would come to ARMS and get involved in a training session. They learn all the different terminology, how the data sheet is presented to them and how they need to fill that out. So this is a great opportunity for our volunteers. They get to be hands-on and up close and personal with these salmon species. Wear a pair of waders, get into the stream. Right in the river, there's sometimes hundreds of chum coming back, and it's a great experience, especially if you're a student and you're looking to go into the fisheries field or any other sort of environmental, ecological field. ARMS is always looking for more volunteers to get on board. Salmon spawning numbers are an environmental issue in the Alouette watershed and in BC. Declines in spawner return numbers due to commercial fishing, urbanization, pollution, and changing climate can result in significant disruptions to the critical food chains and ecosystems. Spawning salmon are a direct food source for bears and birds of prey, and their decaying bodies return important nutrients to forests when they are consumed along the river or washed onto the riverbank. Gathering data of spawner return numbers in the Alouette watershed allows us to evaluate the current state of salmon populations, predict the trends of future runs, and build a comprehensive profile of salmonid species critical to the British Columbia ecosystem. We rely on the spawner survey program and our volunteers to get these return numbers every year. Although ARMS is always looking for volunteers, I know in our busy schedules we don't always have time to volunteer for an organization that we are passionate about. You can also show your support by becoming a member of ARMS and have exclusive hatchery tours as well as access to our monthly newsletters and keep up to date that way if you don't have time to get this hands-on volunteering experience. My name's Sophie and I'm the Environmental Projects and Communications Coordinator for the Alouette River Management Society.